Hello guys, it's been a while. I haven't been really doing much videos lately because I haven't been feeling well. I actually feel kind of depleted. I've had to undergo multiple phlebotomies in the last 10 months. So I'm feeling tired, low energy. So I wasn't really like in the mood to make videos. I needed to rest. Plus, I wasn't feeling much what I wanted to talk about. I was making a video on Dark Ages, but I left it on standby. I didn't publish it because like I said, I wasn't feeling that well. Um, Low mood, low energy. So right now I feel slightly better, and also there's a lot of stuff to talk about because there's been the Summer Game Fest. So yeah, it's there's shown a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna make a few videos to talk about that, and hopefully also put out that Doom Dark Ages video. Just for fun because I made it. I might as well publish it. I don't expect much out of it. But the big thing, they announced the Resident Evil Code Veronica Remake. In this video, I will talk about that. They haven't shown much. They have shown just like the incipit, like Claire going to Europe, which honestly, I always thought that considering how they ended the Resident Evil 2 remake, I always thought they might have as well said, okay, Claire is not going to go to Europe to find Chris in this timeline because she doesn't seem to give much of a shit in the end of the Resident Evil 2 remake about finding her brother. So, but no, they decided to remake Code Veronica as well. So the rumors were true actually, like I thought they were. So they're probably gonna remake Resident Evil 0 as well. But like I've said multiple times already, at this point, expect a remake of all the games, even Resident Evil 1. So don't be surprised when they finally remake Resident Evil 1. The trailer shows, pretty much a big difference already because the start of the game is very slow compared to the original game. It shows Claire going to an apartment complex, to a building, because Chris is supposedly living there at the moment. And going there, she gets greeted by an old lady, and then she gets kidnapped by I don't know, supposedly Hank. Supposedly, some people are saying that guy is Rodrigo from Code Veronica, but I don't know. He sounded like Hank to me. Also because Hank was in Code Veronica, just not directly. He was mentioned in a file in Code Veronica, so they might as well put it in the game. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Hank is a jobber. So there's that's pretty much the only thing they've shown. The beginning of the game with this big difference, because the original game started with Claire going to the Umbrella HQ in Europe and breaking havoc, which honestly I always thought it was kind of overplayed because Claire is still a teenage girl. She's 19. She's a college student. I know she's the sister of the protagonist, and supposedly he trained her, but like going into the Umbrella HQ and like owning everybody, like running left and right and making a fool out of all the Umbrella soldiers, employees, whatever. It felt like a bit too much, in my opinion. I know what they were going for. They were going like for a big shock moment because Code Veronica was a new project for a next generation console, for the Dreamcast. So they probably said, okay, we have to impress people with the start of the game. And also, it's clear that they took inspiration from Matrix in Code Veronica, because like the opening sequence in Code Veronica is clearly inspired by Matrix. And also Wesker and his powers were clearly inspired by Neo, Like it dresses like Neo and moves like Neo. Also because Matrix came out in 1999 and Code Veronica in 2000, so the timeline matches. I mean, it's obvious that yeah, you can tell even by just watching it. Code Veronica is heavily inspired, at least with those scenes by Matrix, the original Matrix. So yeah, what do I think? The trailer, like I said, doesn't show much. I think Code Veronica will be an interesting remake because it's the kind of game that they will have to change a lot to make it work with their modern design philosophy. So they will have to dumb down and make easier a lot of stuff. Also, there will probably be a lot of recycled content like usual, like recycled assets. Like I expect to see recycled assets from the Resident Evil 4 island on Rockford Island. So we'll see. But it also will be interesting because it's gonna be the first time we will see a young Chris with within the Resident Evil engine, because so far Chris has always been his older self. Like even in Resident Evil 7, I think he was already past 50 or late 40s. I don't remember, but yeah, he was already quite old in 7. So yeah, we'll get to see Chris' new model. We'll get to see the confrontation between Wesker and Chris in Code Veronica. Even though I don't really like modern Wesker, like the new voice actor, I don't like it. I don't like him. It's not that he's bad, but I'm just too used to older Wesker voices, like the guy who was in Code Veronica as well. I don't remember his name, but yeah, he fit more Wesker in my opinion. Modern Wesker sounds too aggressive. I don't like it. It will sound weird with the modern Wesker to have the kind of playful dynamic they have in the older games. Like Chris and Wesker in the older games sort of have like a back and forth, jokes, irony, other than straight up seating from Wesker at Chris. But with modern Wesker always being so angry and aggressive, I don't know how that's gonna play out. I guess we will see. And yeah, I mean the game is probably going to have the first person camera and the third person like Requiem. And also it will be interesting to see how they touch, if anything at all, the dynamic between Alfred and Alexia, because he was kind of gray in the original game. I mean, I haven't played Code Veronica in a long time. I will replay it if I can before the remake comes out. But it will be interesting to see how they touch, if at all, that dynamic. Also with the Alfred dressing up as a woman, as his sister. So, and yeah, no, I'm not gonna say that Code Veronica is the best Resident Evil ever. They're gonna fuck it up. I don't know. I think they're gonna like probably do something better, do some things worse, because Code Veronica is far from the perfect Resident Evil. It has a lot of segments that feel quite clunky and annoying. The backtracking also, I remember it being quite annoying at sometimes. It was a game that I enjoyed a lot in my first playthrough, but when I played it the second time, it felt a bit of a chore. In fact, I think it's the game in the franchise that I finished the least. I've only played it 2 times. I remember most of it, but not all, so it will be interesting to replay it. Also because I only played the original version on Dreamcast. It was one of the titles that made me buy a Dreamcast at the time. I didn't play the Code Veronica X version with the added cutscenes, so yeah, it will be interesting. Also, yeah, they changed the title to just Veronica. We'll see if there is a reason for that, or just because it's easier to just say Resident Evil Veronica, or because Resident Evil V is Resident Evil like the 5th remake. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about other stuff like Virtua Fighter Crossroads, which looked very interesting. Like I said, the Doom Dark Ages video, and I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts on what I discussed. And thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subbing and commenting. See you soon. Bye bye.